I would like to invite Dr. Vasanth, who has very, very kindly come forward. Dr. Vasanth, MBBS, MD and FACP. He has been in the medical profession for the last 40 years and has served in many hospitals in Hyderabad city. At present, he is the senior consultant physician and geriatric specialist at Apollo Hospitals in Jubilee Hills. Dr. Vasanth has a long list of fabulous achievements, and though he does not like talking about them, I would like to mention just a few. He has been the past chairman of the Hyderabad chapter of Association of Physicians in India, the past president of the Research Society for the Study of Diabetes in India, New Delhi, the past chairman of the Telangana State chapter of Research Society for Study of Diabetes in India, which is becoming a huge problem. He is also the founder and president of Diabetes and You, or DAY, society, which supports poor people suffering from diabetes and particularly focusing on children who have type 1 diabetes. Apart from working in various ways to help the underprivileged, Dr. Vasanth is passionate about creating health awareness in people and improving the standards of healthcare and medical education in India. The first question I'd like to ask is, what are some of the common health concerns in the elderly?
Okay, thank you. Actually, many of the health concerns are similar between the young and so-called old, but some of them can be different when you talk about old, but then it's very difficult to define who is old. Nowadays we use the word elders. Make English వచ్చండి తెలుగు సో ఇప్పుడు ఎల్డర్స్ అంటున్నాము రెస్పెక్టింగ్ కదా. Old age, we don't know when the old age starts now. It's slowly, we are increasing the number. What number you would prefer to call somebody elder or old age? 75. 75? Very good. I agree with you. But then it also varies. A person like him, he said 75 years. People who are, let's say, who are educated, who have enough to support themselves, who for example, Westerners, 75 is good, but if you are talking about Indian rural population, things are still bad. If you go there and see, a person of 55-year-old looks so old, and you think he's 65 at least, because of so many problems. Yeah, so back to Mandira's question, what are the problems that elders face from the point of view of health? Most of them we know about them, is it not? And the problems that they come to the elders, they come because of some inaction at the middle age itself, is it not? Suppose somebody neglected at the youth, all middle age. The problem here is, I always want to say, that let's not worry about some disease that I will come to me. We don't know. Don't worry about it. But you have a disease, take care of it. You have diabetes, you have blood pressure, don't ignore it. And once in a way, check it. But that does not mean you should become a health freak or paranoid about it. That doesn't really help. We have to be, all of us will age. Only thing we want to age, what they call healthy aging. Age, as you said, 75 is the age, but before 75 we have to be careful so that we can be healthy 75, healthy 85, healthy 90, why not? And then being positive and reducing stress is important. A lot of times the elders, apart from diseases, Mandira, what happens? They're anxious. They're anxious due to many things. Some problem happens, they are anxious about it, they keep on thinking about it. That things, they make things worse. And one more thing, I'm sure you must be knowing, because most of them may have 2 or 3 or 4 problems. So they end up in taking number of medication. Sometimes minimum is 3, 4, the maximum is 10, 12. That is what I see the prescriptions. So they have to take, so what now they call it polypharmacy. Polypharmacy is become very unpopular now, even in the West. Everybody has a polypharmacy, medicine for BP, medicine for cholesterol, medicine for diabetes, and medicine for neurology problems. At least 4 or 5 I can tell. Everybody have, most of them will have. So problem is, how do they take it? How is it being helped, and then how to monitor. Because I keep seeing people taking all the medicine, so it takes my time to find out. They may not bring the prescription, sometimes they bring the medication. So you still have to see them. You can't say that, no, I can't look at your tablets, you have to show me the prescription. Because some of them are not educated also, right? They show the medication. The problem is monitoring. You're taking medicine for BP, you're taking medicine for sugar, your sugar is dropping down sometimes, your BP is dropping down sometimes. You don't know, you have not checked, and you're taking the dose. And you don't even know why you're taking this particular medicine. When I say you, majority of the people in our country. So these are the basic problems that elders suffer compared to the younger population. So they're managing their own existing problems, managing so many medications, and monitoring their own health. And what is happening, ఇప్పుడు ఈ రోజుల్లో బీపీకి టాబ్లెట్ వాడతారు, వాళ్ళకి డెంగ్యూ వస్తుంది మధ్య. డెంగ్యూ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే బీపీ డ్రాప్ అయిపోతుంది. బ్లడ్ థిన్నర్స్ వాడుతున్నాం మనం. యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈజ్ డెంగ్యూలో ప్లేట్లెట్స్ పడిపోతాయి. అండ్ సంబడి హ్యాస్ డెంగ్యూ, their platelets are going to drop down. So if somebody walks into my room where I suspect dengue, I have to find out what all the damn medicines that person is taking. They may sometimes think, you treat my fever, doctor, why do you worry about all the medication? In any case, many doctors may not ask also. Do you know that? They have no time. So this is where the problems are faced by the elders. So you should understand, stop the medicine, go to the proper doctor. Your proper doctor need not be highly qualified person. He may be your friend, family physician, somebody whom you trust. Don't go to new people, don't go to too many people. In polypharmacy, you are going to too many people. There is a neurologist, there is a cardiologist, there is a general physician, there is who? Endocrinologist. Sometimes the medicines are duplicated.
Yes.
Same medicine is taken. Even educated people do, because you don't know the brand name. Same medicine is available in different brands. These are the basic problems which I see elders facing.
Okay, thank you. That is very, very good. So, doctor, you mentioned diabetes, for example. We have found that many of our clients eat sweets on the sly, our elder clients. They're not allowed to eat sweets, but they eat it on the sly, without telling anyone, because they crave it. And I know as a diabetic, I crave sweets. You know, I'm constantly thinking about how I can cheat, how I can eat a sweet when nobody can see me. I'm not a senior yet, but I'm getting there. So how do you tackle something like this? Everybody wants to enjoy what they like. I said what they like. Even the sweet could be different type of sweet that they would like. It's not just the sugar they like. They want to eat a cake or a particular Indian sweet, Right.
or a Bengali sweet or a laddu. They want to eat that. So what we tell them is, don't eat it so frequently. Once in a week, in a function, or when you're sitting with a friend, just enjoy one of them. When you're eating that, reduce other carbohydrate that you're eating, reduce the rice. That is what we tell. But apart from that, what I tell people is, if somebody wants to eat, just replace it with fruits. The fruits are not so bad as sweet, first of all. Why? Because fruits are natural. If they are not, these days, the kind of fruits we are eating, God knows, because they are all ripened artificially and all that. If they are good fruits, the advantage of eating fruits, it has got micronutrients, it has got minerals.
I think the importance of medication management, as you had mentioned about polypharmacy and how you should ask the doctor and tell the doctor the kind of medicines that you all are having. But apart from that, what is the importance of physical exercise, Dr. Vasanth?
Yeah, everybody knows physical exercise is important, right? For concentrating on the elders, what I want to tell them is, irrespective of their health status, they have to do some physical exercise. Is it not? Suppose you have an extremely elder person, 85,
Right.
He can't really walk, but he can do hand movements. He can do hand movements like this, he's doing.
Yes.
See, his muscles are already weak. He can do this every day. He can stretch his leg like this, up. Simple things. Up like this, up like this. These are simple 2 exercises for people who are, say, who are less mobile. I won't say immobile, less mobile. But people who are mobile, sorry?
To bring in mobility.
Yeah, get back the mobility. And then word of caution about physical exercise is that for elder people, don't try to go walk on the streets. There are anybody can come and hit you. The dog can bite you, and all those things happen. So be careful about it. Don't try to be overzealous that you will get extra benefit, it's not that. So you have to balance. Life is a balancing action. So even exercise is one of them. Going to gym is good. Stretching exercises are good. Those who can. Doing something at home is fine. Walking up and down balcony. People who are living in communities, it is good. But those who are walking on the road, I want them to be careful. And then everybody has to wear proper shoes.
Yes.
That's important.
Very important.
Proper, simple shoes. They need not be expensive, but proper, simple
Doctor, then is it the physiotherapist that makes you do the exercises for whatever ailment you might have? Is that the same as some kind of exercise?
It is same, but sometimes what happens, physiotherapists may give you a specific exercise.
Only for one part of your body?
Yeah, suppose somebody has a stroke on one side, he has to show what kind of movement they have to do. And once he does it for 10 days or 20 days, the caregiver at home, it's always, the wife or the husband or children are taught how to do it. And they have to do it constantly for the rest of the life, which helps. All of us have to do some movement, right? Exercise. So, only thing is I told a few things that you need to be careful.
Right. So, doctor, we've also noticed that most of the senior citizens, actually even the children are very cussed and obstinate, but most of the senior citizens don't listen to their caregivers, family members, in regards to what you just said, don't go on the road. They sometimes say like, oh, I will do it. If I want to, I can and I will do it. So what is the importance of listening to your family members and your doctor in such cases?
Leave alone the doctor when you're talking about family member versus the elders.
Yes.
It's both ways.
Right.
The elders have to listen to the younger one. The younger one also has to listen for a while.
Right.
For a change, they have to listen and see what the grandfather is telling.
Absolutely.
Sometimes out of his wisdom. But unfortunately, as you said, you lose certain cognitive functions in the brain.
Right. Yes.
So sometimes the elders may just go on repeating the same thing.
Yes.
Sometimes they become adamant. Kanisha was telling me her own experience with a family member. Suddenly you want to indulge and eat a lot of things. So what it means is the family member has to watch and convince, and there is no question of arguing with the elder.
Yes.
It doesn't help. He will only become more adamant.
So what do you think they should do then in that case? So if I have, let's say, my parents who are old, and if they're not willing to listen to what I have to say, probably because I think that would be dangerous for that person. Like say my dad who was diabetic would insist on eating 15, 20 mangoes, and I'm not exaggerating. His breakfast, lunch, dinner consisted of mangoes.
I know.
So then, he would get upset.
Yeah.
So what is it that one can do to, is there any way that one can help these people?
See, there are a couple of things, what you said. One thing is, are we really, the caregivers, are they really bothered and are they looking at somebody who's eating?
Yes.
People like you are looking at it,
Yes.
because people of your generation, what happens is, I typically see people in, say, 50s.
Yes.
You look after your elders,
Yes.
you look after your spouse,
Yes.
you look after your children, and you have a grandchildren, you're ready to look after the grandchild also.
Right.
But that's not going to happen in the future, as you can see.
Yes.
So that's one point, which is, so finally, it's a tricky game. So finally, it's all the concern that you have.
And how you put it across.
We will manage the concern, patience.
Madam,
Yes.
there's an old Sanskrit saying, Ati sarvatra vajjayet. Anything in excess is not good,
Not good.
for you.
Absolutely.
Ati
Correct.
is more.
I should learn
Excess.
that.
Ati
For my other
sarvatra,
clients.
all times, everywhere. Vajjayet, you avoid.
Tell your parents.
Avoid excess at all times, including talking or
So
speaking.
everything in balance.
What he said is
Moderation.
moderation, right? I was about to tell the same word. Moderation is the secret of good life.
Everything in. So, doctor, after the age of 60, 65, how often should one test for various cancers, liver function, kidney function, electrolytes, CBP, etc.?
It's a difficult situation. It depends on your background.
Okay. But
So we are generally talking about people who have some access, right? So once in a year, it is better to get routine things done. It also depends whether it's a female or male. For a female, we are always worried about the basic cancers that happen, the breast, ovary, uterus,
Yes.
so 3 special areas for the woman. And for the man, it is the lungs and prostate are 2 areas. apart from the colon and other. So these are about half a dozen, 6, 7 cancers which are more common. But there are many other cancers also. So one thing is you cannot, suppose for example, somebody was asking me, just because he has a lot of money, can I go and get a PET scan, doctor, will it show everything? Will it make sure? It may show, but do you want to really get PET scan, undergo radiation? And PET scan only will show what is there today. After 3 months, you don't know. If something is starting inside, you may not really know. So again, back to moderation and then doing some simple tests and follow it up with your doctor.
Reduce moderation is good. What is achieved today is not achieved tomorrow.
Yes. Correct.
After 3 months, you will reduce it by one more step.
Correct.
Come down one more step.
One more step.
And as long as you are comfortable with the level,
Correct.
you are good. You are good.
One point to add to
Yes.
what he said is also when you're testing,
Yes.
also look at the family history. Certain cancers are more common in the family, especially the woman. So when somebody has it amongst the sisters or mothers, it's better they do those checkups,
Right.
whether it is mammogram, things like that, ultrasound scan to see the ovaries,
Okay.
simple things.
Doctor, what about the BRCA test?
What is that?
The blood test that you take to check for the cancer gene in your body.
Oh yeah, the genes which are not relevant clinically. Again, no.
Okay.
It only shows that, for example, if you're positive in those genes, that means 1 in 100 can get. Otherwise, it will be 1 in 1,000
Wow.
without that.
Okay.
So 1% you are not getting into that kind of
I'll
thing.
ask one question. Doctor, can you throw a light on the sleep patterns of the elderly? Because sleep is a major issue.
I know.
So, what is it that should be done for good sleep?
Yeah, it's always a problem for the elderly. Some of them may have sleep apnea. If they are also a little overweight, if they are smokers, they have also a problem. Apart from that, it is something to do with the brain. Some of them sleep in the afternoon for a while. Even otherwise, elders have this problem. So one thing I always tell them is, if you are not able to sleep naturally, there's absolutely no harm in taking a tablet and sleep well. Then they ask me, will I get addicted? How long should I take? I ask the age. They say 70. So take it for another 20 years. We'll see afterwards whether you need it or not. So that way, elders are, they have a lot of leverage. So I always tell them, don't worry about addiction at this age. Take and have a good sleep. Don't take excess dose. Take it properly so that you don't have hangover in the morning. That's all.